you guys so much for being here. This is our Lunch and Learn. All right. So, for those who don't know, my name is Calvin Russell. I'm the co-founder of Park Place Realty Group. My other half is, of course, my wife. And essentially, we help people go into home ownership, as you guys have seen us do. So, of course, if people need credit help and such, then, of course, you're more than welcome to reach out to us. We can most definitely help you get there. Or if you just got questions in general. All right. So, we got him in. See how it loads up, I should say. All right, he's loading in now. Willie, how are you, sir?
There we go. What up, Kyle?
There we go. Perfect, perfect. All right. See, not bad for your first live, right?
Right? Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Okay. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I was just telling everybody essentially what we're going to be talking about here, but since I got you, I know, of course, your time is very important. Which, by the way, I thank you so much for taking out your time to actually do this today. Thanks again. I really appreciate it.
No problem.
All right. Awesome, awesome. All right, so let's talk about a little bit about yourself. All right, and of course, you already got some fans here already, Mr. Jamal B, in the room showing support. That's right. Shout out Jamal. Shout out Jamal. All right, so real quick, let's tell us a little bit about yourself. So now, who is Willie Time?
Yeah, who is Willie Time? That's interesting,
right?
Well, I am Willie Bowtie Times. From Chicago, from the city, South Side, all the way.
Perfect.
Grew up 4 siblings, both parents still married. They just had
I saw that.
Yeah, they just had their 33rd anniversary.
That's what's up. That's what's up. The apple don't fall too far from the tree, I see.
Hopefully I'll get there one day.
There you go. There you go. Awesome. Awesome.
So yeah, I went to St. Rita High School.
Okay.
And then from there, graduated. I went to SIU for like year and a half, 2 years, and I ended up coming back home.
Okay.
And then from there, I went to Moraine Valley.
Okay.
And got my associates there.
Awesome.
And then moving forward from there, ended up getting my associates, stationary engineering, and started working with the city of Chicago colleges.
There you go. There you go. And that's actually how you found out about us as well. How'd you find out about Park Place or myself?
Yep, a coworker. My homie, my coworker Sheldon, he heard me constantly talking about it. Like, yeah, I'm thinking about buying something. He was like, well, I just did some work for somebody that I know. And I was like, yeah, let me get his number.
Nice.
And that's how it happened. Yeah.
Shout out to Sheldon too, man. Shout out to Sheldon. I'm sure he'll be commenting on this a little bit later. For sure. Awesome, awesome, man. Awesome. All right, so pretty much, and that's why I wanted you to share that background so people can see you're an average guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Living in Chicago, things of that sort, and had a goal to go into rental property ownership. And so how was that process for you? Like when we were looking for properties, how was it working with me and also looking for properties to find?
It was interesting. You got to put in the time, I would say the time as far as just, your attention if you really want it.
Yeah.
So it was just, it's definitely a step-by-step process. I started with building my credit, trying to get that right. And then from there, I just got a credit card really. And then just kind of figured out how the credit card system worked, and figured out the numbers. When do they actually bill your report towards where then your actual billing cycle.
Yeah.
So once I figured that little chess game out, realizing you have to pay, you gotta pay 2 to 3 weeks earlier than your actual bill cycle for the points to actually accumulate.
There you go.
So when I figured that out, I was like, okay, all right, I know what to do. You just pay 2 weeks early.
That's right. Awesome.
So when I noticed that started working, I started doing my homework. Just trying to figure out what a FHA was, what a conventional loan was. What can I do? And then after from there, it was finally just like, okay, I don't know really what I'm,
doing,
doing just
right?
myself, just, what I'm saying, it just myself psyching myself out because you just kind of overthink the responsibility of it.
Yeah.
So after that, it was like, yeah, and then I say Sheldon heard me talking about it.
Yeah.
Then I called you. It was like,
Yeah.
yeah, he was like, I got you. You literally like, took me step
Took
by
care.
step.
Perfect. I will say this. You, Jamal, even Sheldon, you guys make this process so much easier. And because you guys already had a lot of things in place. There was savings in place. There was the credit score in place. And for those of you watching this, that doesn't necessarily mean anything bad if you don't have that in place. We still can help you guys. But at the same time, these guys, I'm gonna be honest, you don't see a lot of black men, young black men, having their stuff in order. A lot of times you see young black men without checking accounts, without any savings, without any credit knowledge, and if that is you watching this, all you got to do is reach out. A lot of times the answer is in your circle, right?
Yeah.
I knew what to expect from Willie because I knew Sheldon. I knew what to expect from Jamal because I met Willie. And people usually, they are who they hang around, right? And they're like-minded people. They got their stuff together. Most of the time, they're gonna be around guys that's goal-oriented and got their stuff together. So, but let's go into when we finally found the property, right? Complete rehab. We got lucky on it. I even had some agents call me directly and was like, "Man, I saw you got that property." It was a completely rehab 2-unit property, low-key area in Chicago. Probably not so much low-key now because the market's been crazy. I'm sure you got some new neighbors, who knows, over the last year now.
I've been noticing they definitely going over there.
That's what's up. That's what's up. And so now how has that been for you? Let's talk about because we talked about the good side, right? We had things in order. We found a property, got under contract. What was that like for you to find your first tenant? What was that like for you?
It took a process. It took a while for it to come along when I got it. It just, because like you said, it seemed like it just once I got the pre-approval, it was just kind of like, dang, okay. After that, it was just like, I didn't think
it's real now.
So yeah, I didn't think it was just gonna go as smooth. I mean, not not essentially saying like we didn't have a couple of problems, and the process.
Yeah.
The process of signing all them papers, everything took a while. But other than that, it was like, you go through your properties, like you said, it came through, the word to the universe. I had this kind of fail to us, but we went through our properties first, at least a good 4 or 5 of them.
Yeah.
And even the first one, it took like almost like 2 weeks just to get that first viewing. And it was like, don't worry, we you know what I'm saying? It take a minute for as soon as you said it, he was like, once we get that first showing, after that, you're going to be like, all right, I got another one. Check this one. It's pretty much what started happening.
Perfect.
And then you
now
get
let's
used
talk
to
about
it. And then from that, when we found it, it was shocking. It was like, damn.
Yeah.
Like, dang.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really,
that's what you worked hard for, man. Yeah. So now let's talk about life as a landlord now, right? So part of it is obviously, we talk about the glamorous side, the collecting of the rent, things of that sort, the passive income. But, and we'll kind of dive more a little bit to that in a couple seconds. Let's talk about how it is being a landlord, right? Like, how has that been for you? Have they been calling you a lot, or how does that feel like, with someone living in the same building as you and they're relying on you to make sure that building stays well and sound?
You know what? I'm blessed with some real chill, real cool, laid back tenants. They real cool people. They my people.
Nice.
It keeps me present.
That's right.
It keeps me present. You gotta, cause like you said, you never know. I didn't even make it a full year yet before I had a huge leak.
That's right.
It was actually going on to a year, and I guess whoever did the renovation, they however they did it, they drilled a screw into a supply line. Just kind of Now, I guess it's just over time as it was getting used, it started loosening up and getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and the leak just kept getting, and it was inside the wall. So,
right.
so it was driving us crazy. It's like, you seeing the leak,
Can't
you
find
seeing
it,
the
right? You
water, but
see
you
the
don't
leak
know
and we
where
don't know
it's
where it's
coming
coming
from,
from.
right?
Right.
The floor
Wow.
bubbled up, get hole in the wall. It was crazy. We ended up finding it.
Yeah.
Got the problem, the solution fixed.
Yeah.
So, and I feel like that's the biggest fear most people worry about is just something like that. And it's kind of it's inevitable. It happens. You just
Yeah.
find it and just take care of it. That's all. And like I said, that's all learning. And the step process
Yeah.
of going through the insurance, filing the claim,
Yeah.
going to the bank, you know what I'm saying? Doing that, all the paperwork, they make sure it's to a T. 'Cause they,
Yeah.
they're not just gonna cut anything. So they like, we gotta make sure. I need to see
Yeah.
every single picture. I need to see every detail. I need it written down. I need your signature. So it was definitely a learning process.
Right. So so, and then to kind of give everybody kind of up to speed, Willie bought a 2-unit property. Everything was completely renovated. Probably one of the nicest 2 units I've seen, honestly. And then I saw one of my previous clients. She was posting on Facebook the other day, and she was like, man, it's amazing how everything looks on the surface, but you can't see behind the walls,
Man.
right? And you don't know what's going to happen when there's a heavy snowstorm or rainstorm or a flood. Because because when you look at a house, we're in there for 15, 20 minutes. We're on to the next house. Yeah, we get it inspected, but you can't see what's behind the wall, right?
Right.
But I think that a lot of times people that are looking to become landlords or just homeowners in general, they're like, man, I think that's part of of a fear, because they're used to calling that landlord, that property management company, to take that. So it's like, man, I'm on my own. What do I do? And everything actually ended up. It's unfortunate that it happened, but it actually ended up working out for you in a sense where all you had to do was you just called your insurance company, right?
Yeah, but I called them, filed the claim. But even with that, it's still like you said in the process because I still got people living upstairs. So I'm like, ooh wee, like you said, you used to just calling somebody and go, hey man, there's something wrong. Can you come fix it? It's like, oh shit,
Right.
I'm that person
You're
that's
that person now.
So it's like, damn,
Absolutely.
you know what I'm saying? So you just figure it out. Basically, you just figure it out. You just don't panic and just figure it out. It happens.
And what I love about my clients, that especially here at Park Place, and I'm sure a lot of landlords in general, what I've been noticing is that you guys are really trying to be the change in the neighborhood. Not just because you guys are Black and property owners, that's a plus obviously, but at the same time you remember what it was like to be a tenant, right? And having a landlord that may not respond quick, or even when people are looking for a place to live and they're going through so much just to get an apartment, and you're trying to be that change, and you're giving more people opportunities to say, hey, listen, I'm a responsible landlord. I'm gonna make sure that my clients, my tenants are taken care of.
Man, yeah. When you finally on the field with it,
Yeah,
you can understand, and like you said, it's not it's just making sure we eat first, basically.
that's right. Yeah, absolutely, man, absolutely. And then of course, now what's your future endeavors? Because now you've been a landlord, right? You've collected some months of of rental income. How does that feel, by the way, to have that rental income coming in on top of your regular income?
It's nice. It's nice. It's nice. It's learning. Yeah.
Yeah,
And understanding. It's not when you understand it and see how it comes in. That's when you understand the plan that you have set.
yeah,
So it's
yeah,
once you get that, even with that, people will
yeah,
get excited and think, oh man, I'm just not. That's still a process. It's still
absolutely.
slow. However,
Yeah,
you notice it. So you just
that's right.
figure out, how to, you say how to multiply, how to bring it back some more, and then 'cause, you still got
Absolutely.
to have your reserves. I had this crazy leaking,
Yeah,
and it's still, it came, work for
absolutely.
homeowners insurance. You definitely got to get that.
Man, and and I'm glad you brought that up as well, because a lot of times people don't know what to do with that extra income. And what I've seen a lot of my clients do, some of them, they double down on the mortgage. Some of them, they use that to pay off other debts. Some of them, they use that extra income. What's up, Keith? We see Keith is in the building. All
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
And and that's like you mentioned, that's a process within itself because you don't want to get that rental income and then blow it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you figure out with it. You gotta have a reserve first.
That's right.
For anything.
That's right.
In case something else happens. This happens, I get fixed it. You never know what else might happen. Somebody, might drive through the yard or something.
Yes.
Something crazy a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, you get a reserve first before you start seeing the passive income everybody, the lavishness, everybody just assume you just get automatically.
Absolutely, man. Everybody, they only focus. Jamal said, Keith got the level of right now. Hey, oh man, those times. That's the inside joke. That's the inside joke. Either way, but no, you know what? But I'm glad, and that's why I'm glad you had brought that up because it's so many landlords they don't know what to do, right? Or people that aspire to become a landlord, they think about having just that extra income, but then it's like, okay, I need to put some in reserves. Anything can happen. I need to be prepared for that. I need to be, because you never know, what can happen. So now, being a landlord now, right? You got some cash flow coming in, some passive income, and how do you think that's going to affect, because you have a son, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and how do you think that affects him seeing you now owning property, and of course he'll be able to shorten his learning curve? How do you think that affects him?
It wholeheartedly. he sees it. He's excited. He talks about it. Yeah, that's my dad's house. So so that's my dad's building. It's pretty cool to hear. It's very humbling.
It's amazing when it's in their language now. It's like, oh, we're going to property. We know, that kind of deal. Because let me take, because of course, me being in real estate, I literally talked to a guy the other day. He's in his 60s and he's got like 5 or 6 properties because he's been doing this obviously for years. And he's like, putting together his retirement plan to go down to Florida. And I'm like, man, it's clearly somebody told him something, right? And at a younger age. And this is how we kind of fix the problems in our community, as being more of those examples. So now that you've collected some, some passive income, you kind of built that legacy up for your family and things of that sort. You got your tenant. What's your plans for the future? Do you plan on buying, additional property, soon?
Yeah. Yes. I do want to keep this ball rolling, grab a second one.
There you go.
Get a second one and do, basically, take the steps as I'm doing that. Get a second one, live in it, rent it out, and just kind of go with that. It seems like it'll take forever, but when, like you say, you look up, it's been a year and some change now. So it's like, oh damn.
Yeah, man. Yeah, just quick. Yeah.
That quick. Absolutely. Yeah. And then eventually get a single family. Yeah, I wanna get a couple more.
There you go. There you go.
To secure it, because I see what's happening around the neighborhood. So I wanna.
That's right. That's right. Absolutely. And I think, and that's part of it as well too. When we set a goal, we accomplish it, and it's like, man, that was easier than I thought it was, or it's not as difficult than I thought it would be. And now it makes it where, okay, I'm more experienced now. I know what to look for in a sense. I have an eye for these things. And now it's like, I'm kind of dealing with this situation now. How do I keep dealing with this situation on the next property and things of that sort? So any advice you want to give to anyone that's aspiring to be a landlord like yourself?
Just go ahead and do it. I know you psych yourself out. You think it'll work. You seem it's a responsibility, if anything, but it's not the hugest, what I'm saying? But it keeps you present, and that's just a new thing for a lot of people, because we think too far ahead of ourselves, or we think too back. So it keeps you there. So,
that's right.
So with that, and then once you realize it and then you understand it, you craft your skill.
That's right. That's right. And you know what, man? You've been dropping gems since we started, like you mentioned, going backwards, being positive, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, goal to make that happen. Don't spend all of your money. Got to have a reserve, right? Because I got some landlords touching, man, $1,200 extra, $2,400 extra, over $3,600 extra coming in, through that entire process. And then of course, even Toriana says, keeping your credit excellent, right through that entire process.
Yeah, even when and then when you giving, and people think of that because they think it's a huge loan, it's a lot of money. That actually, when, like you said, when you learn the hamster wheel they keep you in with credit, having that big old realty loan, now my credit score has been shooting up like crazy. They're like, okay, this dude can handle a lot of money. So all right,
you getting all kinds of stuff in the mail now, ain't you?
Man, all types of stuff in the mail. It's like okay.
Yeah, absolutely, man. That's a big responsibility. It most definitely is. It most definitely is. You're handling it well. You most definitely stay around a good group of guys. Y'all leading by example, man. So, of course, want to thank you so much, for taking out the time to actually do this interview with me, and essentially, sharing that, that foundation, being that example, for a lot of people. People are going to watch this right now, and it's a motivation. But even if you're not ready, guys, we're not trying to sell you anything. No, I just want to show you guys, a regular guy, that says, listen, this is my goal. We made that happen. And, if he could do it, so can you. All right.
Yeah,
so
with the plan and stick with it. Just stick with your plan. Just stick with your plan. It's all you. Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Thanks again, Willie, man. We greatly appreciate your time. And we'll see you on the next building.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
All right, guys. You guys have a good one.
All right, y'all.
All right.